Hey, so we are here with five-time national champion and former Ohio State head coach and lieutenant governor, Jim Tressel. So you are infamous for wearing a sweater vest. Is there any reason why you wore it?
Well, I began wearing a sweater vest when I was head coach at Youngstown State. We played mostly night games, and it was chilly. And so I used to wear a sweater vest. Well, when I got to Ohio State, they asked me, what would I like to wear on the sideline? I said, I don't care. And they said, what did you wear at Youngstown State? I said, well, played mostly night games. It was chilly. I wore a sweater vest. They said, you're wearing a sweater vest. Well, then all of a sudden, it's like 90 degrees at noon in the horseshoe, and I looked like a knucklehead wearing a sweater vest, but I had agreed to wear a sweater vest, and that's what we did.
You still sticking with it?
Still sticking with it, yep.
What inspired your transition from athletics to academic leadership?
You know, when my coaching career ended, I was trying to figure out what's the next challenge I would like to tackle. And I kind of thought I didn't want it athletics related, because I'd been 38 years in coaching. And I thought, well, I wonder. And so I started reading books. And I said, I'm going to read 100 books before I decide. Well, I got to about 32. And then I had universities starting to call me about being an administrator. And a couple of smaller colleges asked if I would interview as a president. So I did, and I thought, ooh, I'm not ready for this. I just didn't have enough background. You know, I'd been an athletic director and been a head coach, but I hadn't been the whole university. So then, by chance, I got a call from the University of Akron saying, would you like to be a vice president? We heard you want to go into higher ed. Maybe you'd come and learn the business here. And so we agreed to 2 years. I said I'd stay at least 2. They said, well, that's all you're invited to stay. And then, as fate would have it, the Youngstown State presidency opened up after I had a chance to learn the business, and got to spend 9 years as the president at Youngstown State.
Awesome. So back to your football career, who is your Mount Rushmore of OSU players that you were able to coach?
You know I can't answer that. It's like if I asked you, who's your Mount Rushmore of your friends? You can't just put 4 guys, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to disappoint the others. So I had lots of good players, but there's no way I could put my Mount Rushmore of players or my Mount Rushmore of coaches that coached for me or my Mount Rushmore of victories, because as soon as you say this victory was more important than that victory, you got a lot of teams mad at you. So I'm sorry to filibuster, but I can't answer that question.
Okay. And then for this, can you explain the Team Tressel Fitness Challenge and why did this become a thing and why was it a passion for you?
You know, the governor said that this is something that he wanted to do throughout his administration, and they'd gotten, well, first COVID happened and then this and that, and he hadn't gotten to it yet. And he said, why don't you jump on this? So we got together with educators and Department of Ed and Department of Health and Department of Administrative Services and put together something that we wanted everyone to be able to do, whether we've been at schools where they're doing dips in wheelchairs, you know, and people who need adaptive and corrective activities, and all the way to someone who thinks they might be going to the NFL. So we wanted to create that breadth, and we wanted it to be not just fitness, but we wanted it to be nutrition and rest. And so we put our heads together, we made our booklet, got a pilot going. We didn't know the pilot would be as big as it is, 183,000 students.
That's a lot.
And we're going to try to make it twice as big in the winter and twice as big again next fall.
All right, well, we love what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Yellow Jackets.
Yes, sir.